Second, man, I had to bust my ass.
Yes, sir.
Man.
Yes, sir.
Look, after boxing came capoeira. In boxing, I didn't have a great record. Amateur fights, like 12 fights. I probably won like 7 of them. I was a young kid, It wasn't bad. But it wasn't great either, And when I came to Miami, we're talking about in an era where, the gang activity was ridiculous.
Yeah, man.
So now I can't go to a boxing gym. Because the only boxing gym close to us is like about an hour away, an hour and something. I got to take like 3 buses. My mom was like, not having it. So what I do? I start fighting, man. I start fighting a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why every single knuckle has a story. Every single knuckle has a scar. Every single one of them. And
every single piggy went to the market, boy.
No, I mean, I didn't like injustice, man.
Right.
I came from boxing 101, and then when I come over here and the whole gang thing where like, oh, yeah, you jump this guy. Everything was jumping. USA.
I'm sure you have some sort of like thing you do before you go into the fight. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? You know what I'm talking about? It's your motherfucking boy, Gamero, the Pharaoh, the poor man's Robert De Niro. You know what I'm talking about? Bald version. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so very ecstatic to be able to bring you another episode, another journey, another story every Thursday at midnight. You know what I'm saying? On Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Deezer, all that good stuff. But more than anything, YouTube. You know what I'm saying? That's what we got, like 72 cameras in here, you know what I'm saying? So you can see our beautiful faces. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get to introducing our illustrious, talented guest today, you know what I'm talking about? Ladies and gentlemen, behind the cameras, there's a man, a camera man. The man's out here trying to get the damn Hollister sponsorship, you know what I'm saying? Every time he's out here, he's rocking that Hollister, you know what I'm saying? You need a flashlight inside that damn store, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, behind the scenes, we got Cruz in the his house.
What's up?
What's going on, Cruz?
I'm all good. Filming midnight in Miami at midnight.
Oh, that's beautiful. It's never been more authentic than today. You know what I'm saying? Ladies and gentlemen, I am so very honored to introduce the next guest that we have before us. Ladies and gentlemen, how do you introduce a man who has had such an illustrious, an iconic, and legendary career? You know what I'm talking about? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to get to introducing. It is my absolute privilege, my honor to be able to introduce for the first time ever in the Midnight in Miami studios. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 155-pound, 2-time champ. Ladies and gentlemen, Luis Baboon Palomino. What's going on, my brother? Oh, man. First of all, thank you so much for joining us today. What an absolute honor it is. Thank you so much for joining us, brother.
Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, man, of course. Before we get into the nitty gritty of it all, there's a plethora of topics that we can get into today. I think there's some congratulations in order. Please take it away.
Well, I could start with as soon as right after my last win, I got engaged.
Okay.
So
okay.
It was 6 months of planning.
Oh my God.
And it came out beautiful. We had, FYI, one of my major sponsors and very good friend of mine is Ralph Navarro, and we had planned on using a yacht for this, right?
Oh,
and he gave me a 100-footer, man. It was like, it was beautiful, and I had an old friend of mine, a chef. He's Japanese. My fiance is Japanese.
Right, okay.
She hates it when I say she's full breed Japanese. she hates it when I say that because I breed bullies. Okay,
yeah.
I'm not a dog, girl. It's okay, baby. It's okay, but you're full breed. My chef friend is named Hito.
Okay.
He used to own a restaurant named Nove in downtown Miami. And back in the days, we used to go watch the fights over there all the time. And that's where I first tasted sashimi.
Oh.
And I never liked sushi, sashimi, stuff like that. I became addicted.
For real?
Yeah, so he invited me, him and Ivan, they invited me to, because now he stopped the restaurant business and he started a YouTube channel. He's got like 2 point something million subscribers.
Big shout out.
Diaries of something chef. My mistake.
Okay.
Well, I get hit in the head for a living.
You'll see it on the screen.
That's the best excuse I can use when I forget things.
Bro, that's a great excuse, bro.
But, yeah, so he's like, they invited me, because what he does is he feeds people, in his channel. And I said, you know what, man, it'd be great if we add this to my engagement. So it took a little while because we were waiting for the specific yacht.
Right.
And it just played out perfect, man.
Wow, man. Nice. Well, congratulations on that. That's absolutely amazing. Also, there are congratulations in order for your son, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm talking about? Talk to us a little bit about that.
So my son, 18 years old.
Okay.
It's called 14 Echo Patriot Missile Fire Control as operator. So he's on his way. He just passed all his testing.
Wow.
He's going to be taking off on the 18th. Everything happened like this.
Like that.
Really fast. He just passed all the tests.
Right.
Passed all the medicals and everything. So he's embarking on that journey now. That's where he's aiming at. He's super excited. And, we're all excited for him,
Wow.
He's taking off to Oklahoma in October 18th.
Wow. That's amazing. Big shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? Round of applause for the man. You know what I'm saying? A man now. You know what I'm saying? 18, that's a man. You know what I'm saying? Baboon, first of all, how do you even dive into such an illustrious career, such a legendary career? 2-time 155-pound bare knuckle champ. Before we even get into the everything surrounding bare knuckle, upcoming fights, all that jazz, talk to us. The roots of it all. Where did it begin? And I'm talking about before even the first fight. Like, when you were in school, you know what I'm saying? Were you getting into little fajitas every other day? What's happening?
I think, man, if you want to go really far back, we can go all the way to Peru.
Yeah, please do.
I was like 9 years old,
Okay.
Like, I was really young, but I have one memory in my head, and it was my two cousins, right? My cousin Fernanda and my cousin Alexis. Alexis is a boy, my cousin. It was one of my favorite cousins back then, right?
Okay.
And Alexis and Fernanda used to live in the same house, and they got into like something. And I think like he heard her somewhere. I don't know if he hit her. We were all kids.
Right, of course.
Some kid stuff,
Of course.
But I came to the rescue, and I got into like a little scuffle with Alexis, like my first fight ever,
Damn.
And defending my girl cousin.
Right. Defending her honor, dog.
Yeah, and then like the way that the family applauded me was like, I think that was like the hit in my head. Wow. Like I think that because the only memory I have since back then is like you kind of like I enjoy that.
Right.
You know what I mean? It became something like it was a seed, planted.
Yeah.
Then, we move forward and we come to California. I came to California first.
How old were you?
I was 13 going on 14 when I got to California.
Okay.
And, my dad lived, the other way around. My dad in Peru, he was in like the DEA, like, the force. Back then, man, he got like a threat from terrorists. It was
wow.
Terrorism was huge back then, man.
Wow.
And what he gonna do? He had to leave the country. He started from all over. And I talking about a man that no English, no papers, no nothing. So he used his knowledge the other way. And little by little, he brought I have 3 older brothers and 2 younger sisters, and he brought us all 1 year after another.
Wow.
I got to this country with a photo switch passport. I came in. I didn't jump no board. I came in a plane. I had to study for 6 months.
Right.
Somebody else's identity.
Right.
Don't worry about it. There's gonna be a movie about this. That's
hell yeah.
But yeah,
Yo, Dwayne Johnson, you available, baby? What's happening?
But push forward. My brother Pedro, which is the man, he's a military man, and talk about thanks. Hold on a second, man. This man is the reason why my son, is where he is right now.
Okay.
Headed where he's headed. My brother was 11 Bravo merchandise infantry, served in the 1st Infantry Division in some years on the Army National Guard as an infantry NCO, 2 combat tours to Iraq, and a subsequent 8 years of security contract in Middle East. He served 9 years and got out as staff sergeant. So he did his thing.
Most definitely.
And he was like a different build. He had like my mom's genes. My mom's side of the family is, we have like Angola, Africa, and all the way in the back,
Okay.
My great grandfather. So like my cousins, like the guy that gene from that side of the family, they're all big and tall, like muscular and tall. Pedro had that since he was like 13, 14 years old. He was like, looked like a bodybuilder. Like I didn't even touch the weights.
Right.
And I was like a little scrawny kid. So
bro, I can't imagine you scrawny at all, bro.
I was scrawny, bro. I was really skinny, man. And My dad, when we were here in California, says, "I'm gonna take you to the boxing gym." You know, my brother's a specimen. You know what I mean? So here I come from the band. Hey, can I go? You know, and like, yeah, come on, okay, let's go. But it wasn't for me. It was for him.
Right.
We went to the boxing gym. My brother landed, stayed there for like about a week.
Yeah.
And I stayed there for 3 years. That was the beginning of me. You know, I started boxing.
Wow.
I found like my niche. You know what I mean?
So
And
boxing came before jiu-jitsu.
boxing was the first one, man.
Gotcha.
Boxing was the first love. I always wanted to be a boxer. But, you know, things happen in life, man. You know, I was there when we got pulled over and my father got taken away. You know what I mean? And it was one of those asshole cops, man. Like, oh, your dad is the bad guy. Like, I have to remember that shit to today, you know? Like making it, you know?
Did it almost like stuck with you?
Yeah, because, it made a young kid feel like, man, fuck the police. You know what I mean? And fuck the government type shit. And that's probably one of the reasons why I didn't go the route that my brother went. Right. Which he has a very nice life right now, you know, because of the route that he went, you know? And I didn't want nothing to do with that because of what what I came from. Right. You know? But I said, you know what, man, I want to just stick to myself and stick to like what I love. And in California, my father goes to prison. We lived good. We had a good living, you know, and
before or after?
No, after, like before he went to prison. Like, we were living good, you know. We had a very good life. And he finally brought almost all my brothers. We only had one more brother to bring over, and he went to prison. My mom comes to Miami, no papers, you know, housewife. All she knows how to do is cook and clean. Right. No family. Right. 6 kids. God. You know what I mean? We landed in Miami from living in like a 2-story beautiful home to living in a hotel for a few months to then living in a 1-bedroom apartment, the whole family, you know? And we grew like that. But hey, look what my mom did, right? My sister is a registered nurse. Wow. My other sister studying forensics. My brother was like, one of my brothers served in the military. The other one has always, like, my oldest brother, Paco, he kind of like sacrificed, you know, like what could have been, like as far as studying and moving forward for himself, because he stayed behind, like helping mom pay the bills, you know. Provide. But, yes, provide. And he had some awesome jobs as far as like, you know, like he was the head of valet park in Aquas, very nice. Okay, yeah. And he was there for many years. And it was from him and my mother that I got my work ethic, you know, the way that they worked, you know, and they just didn't care. And we didn't have nothing, you know what I mean? We came from something, you know, but we didn't have nothing, you know, and it was like to see them work the way that they worked, it made me push, you know?
So do you equate like, you know, the amount of hours they put into you know, work, that's kind of how, you know, you correlate it in the gym, you know, because I mean, I see the amount of work that you put into the gym, man.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a talented guy, man. I hate when people are like, oh, you're talented. No, man, look, hold on a second.
Wait, hold on.
Hold up a second, man. I had to bust my ass.
Yes, sir. Man. Yes, sir.
Look, after boxing came capoeira. In boxing, I didn't have a great record. Amateur fights, like 12 fights. I probably won like 7 of them. You know? I was a young kid, you know. It wasn't bad. But it wasn't great either, you know. And when I came to Miami, we're talking about in an era where, you know, the gang activity was ridiculous. Yeah, man. So now I can't go to a boxing gym because the only boxing gym close to us is like about an hour away, an hour and something. I got to take like 3 buses. My mom was like not having it, you know. So what I do? I start fighting, man. You know, I start fighting a lot. Oh yeah. So that's why every single knuckle has a story. Every single knuckle has a scar. Every single one of them. And
every single piggy went to the market, but
no, I mean, I didn't like injustice, man. Right. You know, I came from boxing 101, and then when I come over here and the whole gang thing, where like, oh yeah, you know, you jump this guy, everything was jumping.
Yeah, it is.
Everything was jumping. Like, no, you got to jump you into this, and then we got to jump that guy, and then we got to.
What does that prove, bro? Like, you're not.
How does that make you tough, man?
No,
you know?
like.
So I ended up fighting more than usual, man. More than because I would stick up for people I didn't even know. Look, one of my sponsors today, 1-800-INJURED, Robert. Robert Sagasa was an old friend of mine, right? He wasn't a friend of mine back then. One day I was walking down my block, and he's about to get jumped by 3 guys. They were going to rob him for his chain. And I know him from school, but I don't know him, no. Right. You know what I mean? And I didn't remember this story, because I've done this many times. He told me this story when I first captured my first MMA belt. Remember, I have 4 titles. Right. I have 2 titles, 145 pounds, and 2 titles, 155. Yes. In the shows here in Miami, right? And one day I came back from earning this title in Connecticut, and I see him in the VIP section. He tells me the story, you know. he's like, you don't remember this, do you? But I'm gonna tell you. And he tells me the story, and I remember that. You know, when he told me, these guys want to jump in that, and I said, what's up? What's going on? And nah, man, they want to take my shit. And I said, all right, then they got to take our shit. And we got into a fight with all three of them. I think it was 3 or 4 of them. You know,
bro, you're the first Miami superhero I've ever met in my damn life, bro.
Nah, they didn't take shit. You
That's what's up, yo.
We got into a good fight, but they didn't take nothing.
God.
But that was like one idea. Like I grew up fighting in the streets. I never joined the gang. I didn't like that coward shit. You know.
Where did that? I guess like your rationalization for doing good come from? Because not everybody can say that.
I just didn't like injustice, man. It didn't sit well with me, man. I think it was like my son. Mm-hmm. Since he was a kid, right? Like really young, I trained him. I try to train him all the time, right? This kid has like not an ounce of like malicia, like we call it in Spanish, right?
Yeah,
That bad malice.
Right.
Not an ounce, man. The kid is like a sweetheart.
Right.
You know, like at heart, he's just a good-hearted person. You know? And I think a lot of us are born like that, except for the life that we live and the things that we go through, it just kind of like chirp that away. You know
Right.
But I think it's just that, I don't know, man. I just did not approve, man. I didn't like it, you know?
What would you say are some of the lessons that fighting gave you that you were able to instill onto your son?
Oh, man, fighting back, man. Fighting back and not giving up when things are just not going your way, man. Because, you know, you're fighting with one person, and next thing you know, they're hitting you from the back. That's how I grew up, man. So I would grow up in Miami, you know, known for headbutting. Because if I don't get you the fuck out the way, you know, they're gonna catch up.
Right.
So, you know, it's funny because in one of my bare knuckle fights, it happened to one of my old friends. He was an old training partner of mine, Jim Alers.
Right.
And it went a little viral.
Big shout out, Jim Alers.
Jim Alers, my boy, you know. But I told Jim, don't get in my face. Don't do it, you know. And he got in my face, bro, nearly kissed me. Boom, I gave him a little tap. I didn't. Normally, I aim for the nose, I break it.
Right.
I want to get you out of the way. Like I'd give him a tap on the forehead. I was conscious of what I was doing. You know? I wanted to make sure the fight goes through and everything. But that was one of my signature moves. You know, it was like I start off with that because I got jumped in high school by 3 guys, bro. It was 3 baby South Beach posse guys. That was that gang, right? South Beach posse. It was 2 twins, a pair of twins, and the older brother.
Okay.
And this dude, man, I was doing good that year, man. I already came back from being thrown out of school.
Okay.
For fighting in my freshman year. So I came back from the whatever school they put me to. And I'm not trying to get in trouble with nobody, man. You know, but these dudes are targeting me, you know. And they came to jump me after school over some dumb shit. Or some nothing. And they all squared up. And the first one got a headbutt, bro. Broke his nose, grabbed the other one knee. The first time I ever threw knees, it was out of reaction. I've never been taught how to throw a knee. I came from a boxing background. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Next thing you know, I'm in the bus with my leg full of blood because I busted this guy's nose with like 4 or 5 knees. And then I get hit in the back by the older brother and I turn around and then I knocked off like the 3rd tooth. That's the biggest scar I have right there.
Bro, and that's the first knuckle. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get through all 10, but
I knocked off one of his teeth, but one of the teeth broke. It broke in half, and that's what split my hand.
Damn.
You know, next thing you know, I'm getting suspended from school, expelled.
Wow.
Like, you know, this guy the 3 guys got CSI for 2 days. I got outdoor suspension for 2 weeks. I'm like, how does that make sense?
That's self-defense, bro.
Exactly, man. So, you know, I grew up fighting, man. Miami was my shit. I fought.
Yeah.
That's the way that I spoke. You know what I mean? I didn't take shit from nobody,
man. And you shouldn't. You know, speaking of, you know, different types of moves, you know, I remember today you made a post regarding, you know, like your back fist and
spinning hook.
Spinning hook, excuse me. Yes. Talk to us about you and your ability to be creative, you know, and throw things that maybe people wouldn't see coming. And you know, you had mentioned people, you know, quote unquote, talking shit. How could someone talk shit about, man, crafting, man, painting in there, brother?
Well, first of all, I gotta thank, you know, Mestre Dele was my first capoeira mestre.
Okay.
And then came Mestre Cesar. It was my second capoeira mestre. And I would say that a lot of my creativity came from my capoeira days.
Okay.
You know, in high school, they used to call me Capoeira Luis. You know, I was always in the pep rallies doing shows, you know, like.
Okay.
But capoeira was one of my second love after boxing because I couldn't find a boxing gym. You know?
Oh, man.
So I ended up becoming a certified professor in capoeira, and I speak fluently Portuguese because of capoeira.
Wow.
I never studied it. I just learned it and picked it. I can speak with anybody from any part of Brazil.
Wow.
Thanks to capoeira, you know. So I picked that up as I trained. But I would say the creativity comes And the explosiveness, you know, from all the acrobatics. Like I told you, I wasn't talented. These guys would come, and like there would be a move that was like this. Okay, example, Hoda Barafuso. Hoda Barafuso is a move where like you're spinning vertically.
Okay.
You land on one leg. But you know how long it took me to learn that shit?
How long?
Man, I think I tried that in the beach, maybe like 7 months, 8 months until I first got it.
Wow.
I would just go to the beach and just keep trying and I wouldn't get it. Here comes Wally, one of my young boys, one of my boys. He's 2 years younger than me, you know, but he's my boy, you know?
Right.
That's talent. Here comes motherfucking Wally, tries this shit in his first, and gets it. Like, what the? That's what you call talent. I had to bust my ass for like 7 to 8 months to get. No, and then you think it stopped there. Here comes this asshole and does it the other way.
Oh my God.
Like,
he's fucking flexing on you now.
That's talent. If I say I was born with any talent, the only talent that I was given by God is my power. Is that since I was in high school, middle school, and I was very skinny, I always got into fight with somebody bigger than me that was trying to pick him, you know, or pick on somebody else. But if I clipped you, you're going night-night.
Ooh.
If I clipped you, you're done. You know, I didn't have the best accuracy, don't get me wrong. You know, that showed in my MMA career. I didn't have the best accuracy. But if I get you, you're going to sleep. You know, that was my gift. But everything else I worked for, everything else I had to bust my ass for, man. When it was capoeira, and I became really good. I'm a certified professor.
Right.
You know, I became pretty damn good at capoeira. And, you know, boxing,
and that's tough, bro. I'm learning myself. I'm trying to get those kicks up there. It's rough, man. It's rough.
Yeah, they're not that easy, man.
Oh, it's not easy, man. Yeah. But that's the magic of it. They make it look easy, bro. And nothing about it is easy.
Yeah, man. It's a very cool sport, man.
Yeah.
I loved it, man. That is definitely where the creativity came from. In the spinning hook, I used to do in the beginning of my MMA time, but I wouldn't throw it in MMA fights because people would go under me and take me down. And that was the story of my life in MMA. You know, look at my losses. My loss, like, there's an idiot there we're gonna pretty much talk about later on. You know,
okay.
we already know. You know
Yeah.
Little midget there that won't stop talking shit. And he keeps like nagging and talking about, but he had this many losses and everything. Like, my brother, we're not talking about MMA now.
We're not. Oof.
To begin with. And I'm not going to sit here and explain myself to you. Look, I'll explain to you guys.
Thank you.
In MMA, all right, we're talking about in a time when there was no amateur fights for me. No amateur fights in Miami when I started, right? I started at the age of 26. I started to train to fight MMA at the age of 26. That's pretty damn late for most people, right?
Oh, right.
All right. And then we're talking about in a place where you have to train jiu-jitsu over there, boxing over there, wrestling over there. Well, I didn't have no wrestling training for at least my first 15 to 17 pro fights.
Wow.
I have 43 fights. Okay? My first 10 professional fights, I had no sparring partners. I had no team. I had Mestre Cesar, that was a capoeira master that came into the MMA world together with me.
Okay.
I was his first student. He was my first MMA trainer. And he would do hold mitts for me. And then Sensei Daniel, I started with...
He's at a Masters.
Yeah, MMA Masters was my first team.
Okay.
I started jiu-jitsu with George Pareda.
Okay.
And George Pareda turned me into a blue belt within 8 months. And right away, I took my first fight. You know, so now we're talking 8 months of jiu-jitsu, no wrestling. I had no idea what a conditioning trainer is. Forget that. No sparring partners. 1 minute, 23-second knockout, first fight. 25-second knockout, second fight. My first decision was my third fight against a 6'3" Jeremy May that ended up fighting in UFC at 185. This dude was huge, man. I had no idea about weight cutting.
Bro.
This guy, I'm looking at this guy in the other side of the cage. I'm like, why is he bigger than yesterday? You know?
Bro, that's that pasta, brother.
Yeah, this dude was running around in a sauna suit. So after the fight, I go and ask him, bro, why were you running around in a sauna suit? And he tells me, I was just cutting off my last 7 pounds on it. You know, what you talking about? They're like, yeah, I come down from 200. Oh. And I'm like, bro, I'm fighting at 170, weighing 165. You know, I didn't pass 170.
God.
You know what I mean? I had no idea about weight cutting. You know what I mean? And
was that the fight that changed it for you as far as weight cutting?
It opened my eyes because I noticed the size difference.
God.
I beat him by decision.
Okay.
I wouldn't even land that. I would land in the chest most of my punches. That's where the calf kick that everybody wants to claim was born.
Yep.
Because he was so tall, I couldn't kick the thigh. I would land on the calf. And then we started to work that out. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Everybody wants to take, but nobody can prove, like I can prove with video proof, since 2010 using the calf kick. Now, people want to take credit for it, but they cannot prove it. You know what I mean? But whatever, we'll get to that in another moment. But yeah, man, this dude lets me know about this weight cutting thing and how he comes down from 200. And I'm like, damn, I shouldn't even be in this weight, you know? And I did a few more fights there, and then I came down. But, you know, long story short, man, I had a pretty good MMA career given the circumstances, man. You know, I ended up having MMA Masters became my first team. Sensei Daniel came, and Master Cesar. It was Master Cesar, Sensei Daniel, and they started Team Noguera. It was Team Noguera, and Anderson Silva was supposed to be a part of it. He never was. Like, he did some seminar or something. And then with time, Cesar, Master Cesar, and Sensei Daniel separated from the Noguera brothers. They created MMA Masters, which I was the first one to bring 4 titles to the gym. Okay. And that's where everybody came after me. It was Rick Lamas, Amanda Nunez. Amanda Nunez was my roommate. Yep. She lived with me for a few months, like maybe 6 to 8 months. Okay. You know what I mean? So like, you know, it's a good friend of mine. She was my roommate. I
practiced that Portuguese a little bit.
I practiced the Portuguese. I helped her with the calf kick. Like I did with Rick Lamas, like I did with everybody else, and we would help each other with other things. Rick Lamas helped me with my wrestling. You know, like we became a very strong family. And look at the gym. The gym's making a lot of noise. You have Kobe Covington there right now.
Kobe is there.
You know, they have a couple of prospects out there.
Oh, yeah.
Out there. They have Danny Chavez.
Danny Chavez. Big shout out, prior guest, Danny Chavez. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. You know, they have a few other names out there, you know, but they're doing well. You know, we started from zero. You know, but that's that. That was the MMA career, you know.
Right. What does it mean for you to, like you said, start from zero? It seems like you've always kind of had that chip on your shoulder, starting from zero and accomplishing, quote unquote, all your dreams. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's tough, man. You know, it's not the easiest route, you know, and you start to think, you know, like, man, but they have this, you know, and oh, man, but he had that, you know. Right. But you know, put it this way, man. Like my father was always so busy working that I already was used to it. I was in a boxing gym, and the kids would have like their father next to them, you know, watching. My dad never came to one of my boxing fights, you know, or to see me in the gym. He was too busy, you know. So I guess I was already conditioned, you know, for those type of things. So, you know, some people just like that hate, you know, that envy thing.
Consumes them, bro.
It's a human thing, though. It's because sometimes I feel it.
Right.
But since young, I didn't like it. I didn't like it, so I would fight against it. And now I'm fine by myself. I'll do it on my own. You know what I mean? I don't need all that equipment. I'll do it with this. Right. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't need that many trainers. I'll do it with them. You know what I mean? So I had like that mentality, I guess.
Work with what you got. Work with what you got.
Hey, work with what you got. You know, that's all you got, man. Right. I mean, look, we live good in California, but don't get me wrong. I came from Peru, bro. You know, it's a third world country. You know what I'm saying? Like, we weren't all that good in Peru. Like, it wasn't, you know, it wasn't peaches and cream over there. You know? So I came from something hard, and then it got good, and then it got really bad again. You know, so I don't know. I guess life just conditioned me, man, and got me ready.
Do you do you have a preference, you know, when you mentioned that you didn't have your father, you know, there for your boxing fights or MMA or whatever the case? Do you have a preference now, or even, you know, 10, 20 fights deep or whatever the case, you know, with having people there as far as like friends and family, or do you not want them there? Do you have a preference? Does it not matter at all? Talk to me.
No, man, you know what? I think I always craved it because I didn't have it. Because
the support.
I'll tell you, I'll give you an example, right? When MMA Masters started, like I told you, I was the very first fighter, you know? I mean, it was a little group, but I was the first one, like, you know, I was fighting in Bellator already, you know, like I was doing my thing. And everybody was following along, and I was, you know, motivating them, they were motivating me, we were pushing each other. But I never had a family, you know, like I have a newspaper cutout from back then, right? When I first started fighting, before we had our MMA Masters gym, right? Okay. And I already had a few fights going. And the newspaper's like, I don't know exactly how it says it, but it's talking about, you know, back then I was fighting for this show called ACB, I think it was. And it was America's Top Team show. Okay. Right? And, you know, come on, man. America's Top Team. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all everybody would talk about, their fighters. So in their show, they would have like, 8, 9 fighters? So then the cutout was talking about how I stood out. How there was something else other than America's Top Team. You know, how my fight started, because I was knocking niggas out, man. I was sorry. That's the Miami hood. I don't mean it in no disrespectful way. I was raised like this. All my boys, but I won't repeat that again. But that's what everybody was. America's Top Working Style team, and then I stood out from that.
Right.
You know? And I guess I always wanted a team like America's Top Team had.
Right.
Because it was like I was just a one-man show kind of,
right.
me and my trainers. So it came to a point where some of the guys would like get a little jealous that Master Cesar would only give me mitts every day.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Right. So then I started like, and then Sensei Daniel told me, hey, Master, you know, you got to pay attention to the other guys. You know, then I started talking to Master and telling him, Master, no, go ahead, don't worry about me. Go ahead and help him out. And then I would start to give my time to my guys. And it kind of cut down on me. So I felt the difference because my quality started dropping too.
Oh, wow.
But I wanted my family though.
Right, you were sacrificing that time.
Yeah, and some of them don't appreciate this shit, but most of them did.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And most of them probably didn't even realize it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That I was behind the doors, like, you know, pushing. Because I wanted everybody to get something, man. I wanted everybody to get better and, you know, get the attention that they wanted.
Of course.
Because, you know, fighters are like divas, man.
Oh, brother. Man, listen. Bro, I've never heard more high school drama than being around MMA, dog.
Christ,
oh, man. My God.
No wonder the reality TV shows are so good.
Bro, man. What was it
you
called?
You don't even got to fake nothing, man.
The Ultimate Fighter?
The Ultimate Fighter.
Oh, brother.
You don't even got to fake things. Like, most fighters are fucking emotional.
Yes.
You know, they can be divas, you know, whatever, man. You know, so it came to that point where I was sharing the space and it kind of took a little bit from me, but I had the family. So I always wanted that, the team, you know. But now, you know, fast forward, I'm turning 41 tomorrow.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? There we go. Happy early birthday. Happy early birthday.
So at this age, you know, we're talking about a different world now, bare knuckle, which was something tailor-made for me.
Why do you feel that?
Because in MMA, if you look at my losses, what is it? A decision loss against somebody that held me down. You know, I think I've been clipped down. I've never been knocked out. I've been knocked down a few times. One of my legendary fight, the Justin Gaethje. You know,
right, of course.
Back to back. He got me down. I got him down too. You know? But it was always that wrestling thing that I never had. You know, I ended up getting pretty damn good at wrestling later on because I actually enjoyed it more than jiu-jitsu.
Oh, really?
That's funny, yeah. Like I loved wrestling once I started to get the training of wrestling.
Right.
But we didn't have that.
Right.
You know? MMA Masters was predominantly jiu-jitsu and striking.
Right.
You know, and judo because Sensei Daniel's black belt judo, black belt jiu-jitsu.
Right.
But we didn't have a specific wrestling coach until later. A couple of coaches came across.
Right.
You know? And I enjoyed wrestling. I loved, like I wish I would have gone to college and high school. But you know, I didn't, but whatever, you know.
I believe Marino's there now. Big shout out, you know what I'm saying?
Big boy, the wrecking ball.
Hey!
That's my boy. But yeah, man, in MMA, you know, we already know everything I started against. No amateur fights.
Right.
You know, went straight to the pros. I was fighting in the wrong weight classes.
Sheesh.
Look, the moment I dropped from 170, I became champion in 155.
Wow.
Back to back.
Like that.
Yeah,
like that.
And then 145. Back to back. You know, like so.
Was the difference for you like like night and day?
Huge, man, because this guy's, I was losing, like my first loss was my fourth fight from a wrestler, just holding me down.
Were you gassed? Like, were you more gassed then? And then when you went down?
Well, I have no conditioning training to begin with. So yeah, I was gassed. And like they would suck my power out. So when I get back on my feet, I didn't have that snap anymore. You know what I mean? And it came to the point, man, where it just got annoying, man. You know, like I was in big fights. Okay, put it this way. I fought, what's his name? Yves Edwards.
Right.
In Bellator.
Okay.
Yves Edwards was a striker.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I was a fan of Yves Edwards when he was fighting UFC.
Of course.
He's a striker.
Uh-huh.
I was always a fan. We fight in Bellator. First round, I think it was pretty even, but I believe I took it. Second round, I took it, man. You know? Third round comes with us, Yves Edwards experience. Right in the beginning of the round, just change levels, shoots in, holds me down for the rest of the round. So wins the fight.
Oh, my God.
It's a striker. You know,
Right.
I fought Masvidal in 2012, right?
Uh-huh.
What's he trying to do? He's complaining about what was it? Usman stumping his toe and wrestling him.
Yep.
And he's complaining about wrestlers, right? So what did he do with me? He was trying to wrestle me.
Okay.
He was trying to wrestle me, taking me down. He took me down a couple times, try to do his thing.
Right.
And I took that calf out. You know, it really sucks that the video's not out. Glenn Rice, you're my boy, if you're hearing this. Glenn Rice was the owner of the organization.
Yes,
it's called G-Force.
Okay.
And Tito, I've been talking to them.
Yep.
Trying to get the video footage, you know.
Right.
But I took out Masvidal mostly with a calf kick. And then when Masvidal lost the fight to me, right? And he was 8 pounds heavy, by the way. He did not want to cut the weight. In Florida, if you're 8 pounds heavy, there's no fight. So the commission was like, look, if you don't give him 2 pounds for free and negotiate the rest, there's no fight. So no problem. I'll give him 2 pounds for free. And then negotiated the rest of the pounds, right? So he had to pay me, $2,500, a little extra. And I still whooped that ass. You know? And time passed, whatever, blah. He goes, and I heard, I don't know if it's 100% true, he had just came from overseas, fighting overseas. He was talking all this shit.
Right.
I fought in front of thousands of people, and this guy's a nobody. He's like, call me a tira piedra, you know, like I throw a rock because I didn't have and it's true. I didn't have that quality of boxing I have today. And I wasn't that, you know, I was learning everything so quick. You know, I was very wild, very aggressive.
Okay.
So, you know, this dude goes now, and, you know, I beat him, and he missed his train to UFC because he took that loss. He didn't want to fight. He didn't want to do the deal. He wasn't trying to cut the weight, you know. It happened. He lost. He didn't go to UFC. He ended up going to Strikeforce.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So now look up his fight against KJ Nunes, and look how he wins that fight. Calf kick.
Wow.
Right? And I heard, because I know many people that were training in ATT, that he couldn't walk for like 2 weeks.
Wow.
From the calf kicks. He came out of the ring limping. It's on video, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
So he was the first one to take it out mainstream. Because Strikeforce was, you know, right before UFC. You know, and the UFC, the first one I would say was Rick Lamas, man. Mm-hmm. You know, and there's people like Shell Sutton talk about, the first, you know, maybe that's what he saw. The first man I ever seen do it is Benson Henderson. Like, come on, man.
Come on.
You know what I mean? Like, well, no. And he even says the year 2012. Like, nah, I've been doing this since 2010.
Yeah, bro. Gotta let him know.
You know, and then that shit kind of rubbed me the wrong way, right? But when Dustin Poirier beats McGregor, now that's when that's when everything blew up about the cap.
Yeah, it was,
you know?
bro.
Because it's McGregor.
The talk of the town. Yeah.
So what did McGregor say? McGregor saw Thiago Alves in the corner.
Uh-huh.
You know, and he says, I knew that the low kicks came because Thiago Alves, because Thiago Alves is known for low kicks. Shit, I know Thiago from low kicks. The first time I ever got a low kick in my thigh was the first time I ever sparred an MMA fighter that happened to be a UFC fighter that fought at 170 while I was very small, right, compared to them, because he was off camp. So he was like over 200 pounds, and he chopped my leg down.
Bro, and the fact that you still remember it to this day, you know what I'm saying?
But look, he inspired me to kick the leg. And then I kicked Jeremy Stevens by accident in the calf, you know, and then we saw it. And then it happened by accident again in my gym against John Kelly. Was another 170. Most of my sparring partners were 170 pounders.
Wow.
I was just the smaller one.
Right.
I sparred with John Kelly many years ago, man, all right? Before all these people talking about they did it. And I kicked him in the calf by accident again. And Master Cesar says, did you see that in the break? Did you see what happened? And I was like, no, you kicked him down there and he's limping. Do it again. And I went in the next round, boom. And he couldn't spar no more. He was way bigger than me. And that's where it was born, in MMA Master's gym. Mm-hmm. It wasn't my creation alone. You know, it was my master that also saw it, called it out. So we created it together and we nourished it. Who can say that they have won 70% of their fights through the calf kick? Look up all my fights. You know, so people are like, we've been doing it in Muay Thai. Muay Thai does not kick on the calf, man. Thiago Alves is a Muay Thai fighter. He kicks the thigh.
Right.
So when McGregor says, I knew it was because of him, and they just stay quiet about it. But, you know, they don't, ATT was never known and has never used the calf kick.
It's facts.
Until Amanda Nunes went to the gym. With the calf kick, she learned from MMA Masters. And she can tell you that herself.
Right.
I just like throwing that out there.
No, let them know, bro. Yeah.
You know, because people are taking, like, you know, the credit for something that ain't theirs, man.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely insane. Would you say that your background being...
Can I say something?
Yeah, of course.
Because he mentioned in Muay Thai, like, the kick in the thigh. Many years ago, when I did Muay Thai, they taught me how to kick, and it would always tell me, like, kick higher, kick the thigh. It's the thigh. Straight up, bro. Straight up.
There you go.
So he's speaking facts.
Speaking facts, you know what I'm saying? Verified by Cruz, you know what I'm saying?
Man, look, to piggyback on that, right? I've gone on the back and forth with people on social media, right? You know, the Muay Thai lord, right? Because I've been seeing that in Muay Thai for many years, right? And like, okay, no problem, man. Show me a video. In Muay Thai, where the guy, and then they send me a video, right? Where the guy is picking up his leg to check the kick and gets kicked on the calf. My brother, he's checking the kick.
Right.
The guy is not looking at the leg on the floor where the foot is connected to the floor and kicking and striking the calf back to back. Nobody was doing that in Muay Thai, man. It's the thigh. Come on, man.
Come on. Would you say that your background, being from Peru, do you feel responsibility in representing Peru?
100%, and I have not been back to my country since I came, man. I've been in this country in the States for 30 years now. 31 tomorrow.
Wow,
right?
31 tomorrow.
And I've been dying. All right, it's gonna be 2 weeks from now, so I can say
Yes.
Just the other day, I got my resident card, man.
Oh, man.
Like I've always had.
Brother, congratulations, man. That's a big deal, bro. I'm happy for you, brother.
30 years later, man. 30 years later.
I'm so happy for you, bro.
I had this amazing attorney, man, Hugo Florido, man. This man stuck with me for the last 12 years.
Wow.
Going through different loops. I was married to an American woman, man. My son's American. My ex-wife was American.
Born here and everything.
Yes, I was married for 10 years. But the fact that I came into the country illegally and could not prove it, that's what I'm telling you, the movie is coming, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because, like, I came in with a photo switch passport, right?
Okay.
So the truth shall set you free, right? All right. So one of my cases that I had that Hugo was working for me we're presenting the truth. I got denied because I didn't have the passport. I came in. Who the fuck is gonna keep an illegal passport, photo switch passport, for 20-something years?
Bro,
You
what?
know, like, oh, and then the dude that interviewed me, the immigration officer, he was a real dick, man. You know, he was like, oh, but you were in on, like, pretty much saying I was in on it with my father. I'm 10 years old, man.
What?
I don't even remember this shit. Like, no, but where's the passport? Like, questioning me, like, it went into a back and forth. You know, I was like, what the hell is going on with this dude, man? You know, the whole point of my attorney bringing that case is the fact that because I came in as a 10-year-old, a minor, it's not my fault. I get a pardon,
Exactly.
and I become legal. Because I came in through the big door. I didn't come in through a border.
Right.
So there's a loop there.
Right.
But they put it down to the point that I couldn't prove that I came in like that because Hugo couldn't find the files. It's too old, man.
Yeah, of course.
It's too old. He couldn't find the entry, you know. So I didn't have legal entry. So I was married without legal entry, and that didn't work either. I tried to get the papers to my wife. That didn't work either. So in the last 12 years, Hugo has done different things because when he opens up a case, I get a work permit.
Okay.
And I'm able to work legal.
Right.
And drive legal.
Right.
But it's been some years, man, that I've had to drive illegal. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Finally, all that crap is over. You know.
Oh, man, I'm
got my residence card just 2 days ago.
Oh, man. Another hand of applause. That's a big deal, brother. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you, man. Genuinely, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, every single week, you know what I'm talking about? We have 3 segments, you know what I'm saying? 3. And the first one is actually called Mail Time. You know what I'm talking about? And in this beautiful segment, the day of or the day before our guest joins us, boom, you can go on our Instagram and you'll see a story where you yourself can submit a question for our guest and we'll read it on the air. You know what I'm saying? And here we go. Here are some of the hard pressing questions that we got for you, brother. All right. So, I'm gonna be honest right off the bat. About 95% of these questions are along the same lines. And I'll ask. Do you want me to? I'll ask the nicest worded one. No, actually, I'll ask a mean one if you don't mind.
I don't mind about any of them.
He goes, I don't mind. Ask him why he ducking all the dat references instead of promoting the fight. Another one, is he scared of that? Why is he blocking anyone that talks about him? And the nicest one, is he fighting that? There's about 5, 6, 7 or so, kind of all revolving around the same question. Yeah. The people, they gotta know. This is coming out 2 weeks from now, so talk to us.
All right. So, first of all, before we get to the answer to that question,
yes,
we gotta put something out there, right?
Please.
Just less than 2 months ago, I nearly died.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And that's something that I wanted to get into further down the show. But if you want to bring it up now, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, because, you know, this is the moment because this guy is just ridiculous. You know?
Ridiculous.
And people are wondering why I'm doing what I'm doing. I nearly died from COVID. And it's not like, oh, man, I'm trying to put fear on people. And I'm not telling you about vaccination. I'm not going none of that. I nearly died because of my own negligence.
Why would he say that?
Plain and simple. Because I'm a clean freak, man. I'm a very healthy individual. I haven't gotten a cold, a cough in 5 years. God. All right? Because I'm very much into anti-aging. I can do my own IVs, multivitamin IVs. I eat well. I have a meal prep business, Balanced Life Bento.
Big shout out.
With my fiance. Like, I eat good, I train good, I rest, I treat my body like the temple it is.
Yes.
I work off my body, man.
Big into recovery.
So, when this thing hit me, and we'll get to that question,
right.
When this thing hit me, we're talking about, I just finished winning my fight, which I don't drink.
Okay.
I did enough partying, man. I grew up in Miami. I did enough partying, and it was kind of a little bit of my downfall in my MMA career, so I'm not going to make the same mistakes again.
Okay.
So now, for me, a party is my bullies, and my female and my kid and my crib, and I'm good. I'm happy.
Right.
We'll do things, dinner and stuff like that. But anyways, man, I had planned the whole thing with my fiance and the engagement. So I'm celebrating 3 days in a row. It was like a weekend, and then the Monday or something. It was like 3 days in a row. So I was drinking those 3 days, and I don't drink. Now, mind you, I'll probably out-drink most of you guys.
I mean, you all drink me. I don't drink.
Bro, I don't know what it is. I don't drink, but something about this liver, I guess from my father, because my father used to drink a lot. Like, I'll out-drink most big dudes, man. I don't get drunk. That's why I don't even drink no more. Damn. I don't get drunk, man.
Right.
It's
a waste of money.
It's a waste of money, man, for real. So I was drinking for 3 days in a row, and I drink a lot because I don't feel it.
Right.
I'll finish a bottle of tequila with you, and I'll still do a backflip land on one leg. And I've done it in the past.
And that's a true story.
So I was drinking 3 days in a row, and then celebrating my fight, celebrating my engagement, and I guess my immune system was low. Okay. It dropped, and went to the strip club, blah blah.
All right.
That was the only place that I was like close counters with a lot of people. I'm for sure I caught it there, and my fiance got it first.
Oh, word.
She got it for 3 days, and her third day of symptoms was my first day of symptoms.
Shit.
Right? My fiance is 12 years younger than me, by the way, so maybe her immune system was better. Right? But in day 3 for her, we took a Z-Pack, which was day 1 for me. It didn't do crap for me. It helped her because within 4 more days she was good.
Okay.
She passed it good. So day 10 comes and she's there like, we don't argue, man.
Right.
We don't fight. We don't argue. Like, we'll disagree on one thing or two.
Anyone.
But this is the only relationship I've been with. I've been 3 years with this woman, and we do not fight.
Word.
You know what I mean? I'm in peace, right? So we got into an argument because she wanted me to go to the hospital. So I'm not going. Day 10. Day 11. Second fight. A fight. You need to go to the hospital. I'm not going. Day 12. 4 a.m. in the morning. I move her and I take me to the hospital.
Oh.
Right? And at that point, I know.
Bruh, just you telling me I can tell. It's,
Bro, look, you want to know how real, like, people think, it's just a cold, COVID. And look, man. When I say my negligence, this is what I mean by my negligence. 12 days fighting COVID. I can't hold, if I drink a zinc pill, I vomit. If I eat a piece of bread, I vomit. If I drink water, the same amount of water and the same speed that I drink in it, right? It comes out the back. Right away. God. So I was dehydrated and empty stomach for 12 days, man. You know what I mean? And I know how to do my own IVs. So I'm surviving the 5Es.
Right, bro. That's when you're camping out at the toilet, bro. Oh man, you know what I'm saying? Pop up the iPad. It's gonna be a long night.
It was bad. God. It was real bad. We're talking about migraines and fevers of 102, 104. For too long. You know what I mean? So I woke up on day 12 and I told her, take me to the hospital. I get to the hospital. I'm not even going to mention the hospital. I'll tell you why later. But I was misdiagnosed. All right, so I'm there at 5 a.m. in the morning, and it was a whole day of suffering for nothing. Here comes this asshole doctor, right? He doesn't even come into the room, opens the door, and I guess he was reading somebody else's thing or something, right? Because they had heard about my pancreas, right? So apparently my pancreas almost blew. And I think it was from the multivitamin IVs and an empty stomach, And the doctor comes in and is like, oh, yeah, your pancreas almost blew. You have inflammation of the pancreas, severe pneumonia, blah, blah. And I'm like, and he's like, but you don't have COVID. You're okay. And I'm like, hold on. I have all the symptoms. That's why I'm here. No, you don't have COVID. I got pissed at that moment, I was like, what the fuck you talking about, man? You haven't even tested me for COVID. I hadn't gotten a test yet. He didn't even know I hadn't gotten a test.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Whose chart are you reading? You know what I'm saying? So then, he felt real stupid. He leaves, and he sends this young nurse, right? This dude. And the dude like, don't worry about it. I don't go that deep. Bro, he puts this thing like halfway down my nose. Of course it's going to come out negative, man.
Right.
You know? Like halfway down my nose. So then, see, doctor comes back because he wanted to feel like he was right. You know, he's like,
of course.
See, I told you don't have COVID, everything. And then, so why am I feeling all the symptoms? It's because your pancreas almost blew on you and you're in a very bad condition, blah, 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 blah. So, all right. So they moved me to a non-COVID floor, man.
Oh, my God.
All the nurses are coming. They're like, you're sick. Like, you have COVID. Like, yeah, no shit. That's why I came here this morning at 4 a.m. in the morning. I need to be tested again. I had to wait until the other shift doctor came. Oh my! Like around midnight. And that's the reason why I don't want to mention the hospital, because she was an angel, man. She comes all the way inside, squats right next to my bed, holds my hand, talks to me, hears me out. I told her, look, man, I'm trying to tell you, I came over here because I have COVID. Say, okay, I need to get tested. Okay, blah, blah, blah. They test me. Next day, she comes back in. We apologize. You're positive for COVID. We're going to move you back down to the COVID floor, blah, blah. And then I was too late for this Regeneron treatment that most of my friends have healed with really fast. And I had to do this like 5-day COVID medication while being pumped with steroids for the pancreas now, whatnot, you know. So now I'm like in day 15, 102, 105, 104 fevers, not stopping. I'm sweating at night, man. It came to the point that I'm hallucinating. I was having hallucinations, and I'm trilingual, right? So I'll press the button to call the nurse, because 3 or 4 times a night, I will wake up shaking, soaked in sweat. So I'm freezing because I'm soaked in sweat. And I had to and I would tell them to change me, but I'm speaking in 3 different languages mixed in one. I'm hallucinating, bro. I even saw my grandma that passed away when I was 9 years old. Wow. But that was the light of my day, because it was really bad. It was like, I got really bad. I'm talking about an empty stomach. I couldn't hold nothing in my stomach. You know what I mean? So on day 16, day 15, that night and the next night were the worst, the darkest nights. That's like when, I spoke to a vet, very close friend of mine, Mike, and he broke his neck in a car accident. He nearly died. And when I explained to him what I was going through, he's like, I tried to explain that to other people too, and they couldn't get it, but you get it. It's like a darkness that you don't measure it with light. You know what I mean? Okay. It's like a darkness. You're alone. Right. You can't have your family, you know? And it's like, man, it was just dark. I was losing my faith. Okay. You know? I couldn't breathe. I couldn't go to the bathroom.
The fact that you know the days by number speaks volumes, man. Bro, it speaks volumes.
Man. It was bad, man. And it came to that darkness point where I was starting to lose my faith. And you know what helped a lot, man, was the messages that I was getting. You know, because my sister's a registered nurse, and she's tired of people thinking this is a game. So she's like, man, you should do a video, you know, of what you're going through, so people can see that even healthy people can get it. So I did the video because my sister, you know, asked me to. You know, she's a nurse, you know. So I said, oh, yeah, I'll do it. I did it for my sister, you know. I don't like to put my business out there, but I did it for my sister, whatever. You know, and it came to that point, man, that it got like really fucking dark, man. It's like there was 2 nights there that I didn't think I was gonna make it out. Like, I really didn't believe I was gonna be okay. You know what I mean? Wow. And then my grandma appears, man. You know, in the middle of the darkness, right? And she's talking to me. I'm having conversations with my grandma, bro. I haven't thought about my grandma. Like, my grandma passed away when I was 9 years old before I came to California. And it was light, man. Wow. It was like she gave me I literally remember, I don't remember what I was saying, but I remember having conversations back and forth and smiling and talking. You know, so like the hallucinations from bad shit went to a good. And it gave me hope, and reading my messages and the comments, everybody pushed, like it brought me life again. And then next thing you know, in those days, they were poking me with the steroids that was raising my sugars, right? So I almost came out diabetic.
My God.
So I'm completely healthy, right? And this is what pissed me off, right? The nurse would come, and like my sugars went to 340, 350. And, you know, who's giving me the steroids? You know what I'm saying? So it's their responsibility, right? So they poke me with this insulin, and every time they poke me, like, you might end up diabetic after this. Number 2, you might end up diabetic. Number 3, you might end up, and the third one, like, hold up a second, man. Like, you know, like, I call my sister, And I'm like, hey, Cindy, they keep telling me that I might end up diabetic every time they poke me with this insulin because my sugar levels are high. She's like, do not let them poke you with insulin again. And at that moment, that same day, I had my first food that I could actually hold.
Which was what?
I don't even fucking remember, man. It was crap food, man. Oh, oatmeal. I love oatmeal, but it tastes like water. And I can't taste anything anyways.
Of course.
But I put it in my stomach and I could hold it. You know? So I said, okay, I have severe pneumonia and I'm on my back all day and night. I'm hooked up to too many things to flip around.
Man.
How is my pneumonia gonna get better? I'm on my back all day and night. You know what I mean? So then, when it was on the dog, the nurse comes and trying to poke me, right, for the 4th time. And I said, look, at this point, I have enough energy to fight you off. Because they weren't taking no for an answer. You know what I mean?
For real?
They weren't taking no for an answer, man, because it's their responsibility. My sugars, they were worried. My sugar levels were like 340, man, you know? So, no, this is very dangerous, but you need to take this shot. So, look, I'm not taking the shot. As a matter of fact, I want my release.
Oh, shit.
Like that, you know what I mean? If you want, go and get some help because it's going to have to get physical for you to give me that shot. I have enough energy to do it now.
Oh.
Okay? And they went, you know, they gave me my release the next day. I was still positive for COVID. But the moment that I got out, I started to improve faster, you know, because now I could hold food. Don't get me wrong. The hospital helped me.
Okay. Right.
They helped me because I was near death.
Right. No.
You know? So the medication they gave me for the COVID was good. But I needed to get out of it because I have severe pneumonia. I can't even breathe it. It's not going to go anywhere on my back all day, man. You know? And if I can eat already and my fevers has stopped already.
Did you break the fever already?
Yeah, I already had broke the fever.
Okay.
I already had no more fevers. So it was like day 16 or day 17. I already had no more fevers. I had no more migraines. You know? And that was like 16 days straight of fevers and migraines. Damn. Like unstoppable, man. You know? So at that time, my fiance was pissed that I came to the hospital a little early, to be honest. But, you know, I quarantined myself.
Okay.
And I was positive for like another 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
But I was improving. I mean, she had to come and like covered up and change me like for the first 2 nights.
Right.
You know, and I kept doing that. I kept sweating. But I was feeling better. Mm-hmm. You know, I guess it was throwing the shit out, you know?
Right.
And with a big eye opener, when I said, I'm not going to fight this year. You know, get into that question that everybody's waiting for me to answer, right? When it came, you know, when it really opened my eyes was, I had to order this drawer, right? And it was right outside of my door. So, you know, all I did was lift the drawer and move it side to side. A box. It's a box.
Right.
Side to side. I didn't lift it. I didn't drag it. I just moved it side to side into my door, into my house, set it down, and I almost passed the fuck out, man.
Oh, shit.
You know, but that wasn't it. We already know about the breathing issues with COVID, right?
Right.
That wasn't it. What opened my eyes was the fact that the couch was right there, so I caught onto that, and I had this Boost oxygen canisters all over the house. My fiance had bought that for me. The next day that I posted an interview, I did a video that I'm back home, I'm recovering.
Right.
With the oxygen, the Boost, somebody tagged them and said, hey, y'all better sponsor my boy because I never heard of y'all before him.
Hey, that's facts.
I woke up with a sponsor the very next day.
For real?
Yeah, man. They started sending me canisters. And
all right, big shout out.
Boost Oxygen hooked me up.
There we go.
Without that, I couldn't even move around the house, man. Talk about leaving the house, forget about it, you know? Without that, I couldn't, you know? So I'll pass out. So what I felt when I grabbed onto the couch and I took like 10 or 12, you know, inhales of the canister and I caught my breath was the equivalence of every time I get into a camp, I like to work on my body first. I like powerlifting, right?
Okay.
And I like breaking my own records. So it felt like if I had trained Monday through Saturday, breaking my records, the soreness that I get, that's what I felt immediately from doing that. I was like, what the fuck is this? That's when I realized how much damage I really did to my body, man.
Wow.
I lost 28 pounds, man.
What?
Like, I don't have fat on me, man. You know what I mean?
Bro.
Like, I'm mostly muscle, you know? I lost all my muscle, man. I lost everything. You know, like I have pictures, man, of how I came out. I did not realize how much weight I lost until my mom saw me. And they didn't come in the house. I was still infected, right? And my brother saw me. Mom didn't say nothing. She looked at me weird, like worried, you know? And my brother actually looked at me like, man, you lost some weight. And that's when I went to the bathroom, right? After
and not left. Like a compliment either.
No. I went to the bathroom after he left and I look at myself and I'm like, holy shit. That's when I realized I hadn't I hadn't noticed.
Had you weighed yourself or no?
Bro, I was like 50, 152, 151. I walk around 175, man. I fluctuate between 171 and 175. You know, so like, and in that time, I wasn't training, so I was a little heavy. You know what I mean? So I lost a lot of weight. I lost all my muscle. Man. So the second eye opener was I have a client, Ralph Navarro.
Okay.
You know, and we train every day, Monday to Friday, right? Sometimes Monday to Saturday. And we have a routine where we walk for an hour, speed walk, pop, and then we go and train.
Okay.
Right? We go and do our weights. I said, let's start with this, right? That was my second eye opener, right? And we went to meet on a Monday. I was already negative from COVID. I'm not having no more cold sweats, you know? So already a few days passed by. I'm eating a little better. You know, I'm improving, right? And I did a walk with him for 1 hour, bro. That's it, right? I come back home, and I'm like excited. I just started my week. It's Monday, right?
Right.
And I'm like all excited. I have so much shit pending. I've been, 19 days out. I don't know how many days in total.
Right.
So I said, I came, I ate, and I took off. And I started doing things that I needed to do. Bro, the cold sweat started again, man.
Oh, no.
Bro, that same night, I go to sleep, and I wake up in the middle of the night, and I have to wake up my girl, and I'm like soaked in sweat, freezing, and it happened for like 3 days in a row, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on, man? So that's when it really opened my eyes to like, I can't fight this year, man. There's no way I can fight this year, And then here you got this idiot that you're talking about.
And now back to the topic, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like this dude is doing videos, talking shit, right? And at first, I looked at it a little bit, because what else am I doing, bro? I don't have a regular schedule. Normally, I'm out all day training people. I have businesses. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm moving around.
Of course.
But when you have nothing to do and you're like those trolls, man, they have nothing to do. You're on the phone.
Exactly.
So I'm looking at these people, right? And at this guy's post, he must have. If you look at his Instagram, we're gonna say the name Dat Nunez.
There you go.
The ridiculous idiot. Man, how can I say this guy, man? This guy's just delusional, man.
Yep.
Delusional. It's a delusional idiot, right? That if you look at his Instagram, you see me more than you see his girl. All right? So he's based his life on me.
It's a shrine.
And he's deleted a lot of it.
Oh, wow.
There was a lot more before that he's deleted because his own fans were talking shit to him because I saw it. Right? And the fans of his, not my fans.
Right.
They're not following me. They're not my fans. They be like, hey, chill, champ, chill, man. The guy just almost nearly died in the hospital. You didn't see the video. And like a lot of people told him he would delete the whole thing that he posted. So he's like showing, he's like his own fans are showing him how stupid he sounds. Wow. So like that's why I did a little story where I posted, try to keep me while I'm down. You know what I'm saying? Like,
of course.
This guy is trying to take advantage of a weaker man, right? A weaker stage, right? And put it this way, man. I'm taking the fight, bro. I'm taking the fight because I don't need to be 100% to be this fucking ridiculous idiot, man.
Oh.
So we definitely taking this fight.
Okay.
It's already booked. November 12th, Jamestown Night Center, downtown Miami.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm probably at 70% right now. I don't need more than that. I don't need more than that to beat this idiot. I think it makes a lot of sense now to fight this guy now because I've lost all my muscle. I've lost all my power. But like I told you, I'm a heavy hitter. I never needed muscle to knock you out. You know what I mean? And it's very fair for him now because this dude is coming up from 135. He's delusional, man. This is the same idiot. Okay, that Nugent fans, explain something to me. You're his fan. I understand, man. If you're not my fan, you're his fan. I'm cool with that, man. No problem. This guy is talking about fighting the heavyweight champion, Joey Beltran. So when I told my girl about this shit, right? And he's been talking about this for a long time. My girl's like, nah, it's an Asian joke. He's Vietnamese, my girl's Japanese. Nah, it's an Asian joke. Like, don't baby, no. He's not joking around. He's fucking dead serious about it. He's dead serious about it. So the way that everything started with this guy, he goes in and he calls me out on a Bare Knuckle FC page on Instagram. And he says, he had just gotten the 135-pound title. I'm the 155-pound champion. And there was talks about the 145-pound title opening. And I've been saying I want the 145, 55, and 165-pound titles. Ooh. And that's what I was targeting,
God.
Let's scratch the 145. I'm never dropping to 145 after what I just went through.
Of course.
I'm not doing that to my body. I'll go 65.
Right.
So, but back then I was going for that. So he says, me and Palomino for the 145-pound title. All right, so I answer right away. Like, okay, cool, I'm in. What's his answer after that? Just, oh, but hold up. You know, this fight is too big with too little money. We got to build it up. So I wrote, like, shut the fuck up then, man. Then shut your ass up. Then why are you saying anything? You're looking for clout. He's obviously looking, that fans, your boy is obviously looking for clout, man. He's clout chasing, man. Clout chasing. You know, look at his page, man. I'm his page. You're going to see me more than his girl. Like, come on, man. Like, you know, he's basing his whole thing on me. Okay, first of all, in the fighters world, in between fighters, at least in real hardcore fans, you are not the champion until you defend your title successfully. At least once.
Big facts. Big facts.
All right,
big
that's
facts.
a fact. This dude was supposed to fight with Reggie Barnett to defend his title, the #1 contender, and he ran. He started to ask for ridiculous amounts of money from Bare Knuckle, knowing that he's not going to get it, and they ended up stripping him from the title.
Wow.
Okay? So now they signed him back in. You know, okay, whatever. You know, that's what promotions do, right? Sign him back in, and he's trying to aim at the 155-pound title. It's a stupid, ridiculous move. You know, I would literally, like, demolish this dude. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You know, but back to what I was saying. It's going to make more sense for him. It's going to be more fair for him now. Now I really don't have nothing in the back of my head that, you know, 'cause before I was thinking darker shit, you know?
Right.
That might happen. But now I'm okay because now I'm going to be, you know, a lot lighter. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I got my weight back, but it's not my quality weight that I normally walk around with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like probably like a 65, 70%. And that's thanks to, once again, Ralph Navarro, who took me to Gentera and Dr. Ramos.
Okay.
And Gentera, what I would say is the leading anti-aging clinic out of Florida, because I've been through most of them. I really like it. I like reading about anti-aging. I don't like pre-workouts. You know what I mean? I like everything that has to do with recovery. That's why I'm a IV addict. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I like everything that has to do with recovery in the body. You know, eating well. Like, I'm a health freak, man. You know, I love it. You know.
Oh yeah.
And like I told you, like, this whole thing of talent, my brother was built. Like, I had to bust, man. I didn't start lifting weights till I was 21 years old, man.
God.
You know what I mean? Like,
wow,
and I had to bust my ass to change my body. So you got that idiot talking about, oh, hey, steroid this, steroid that. Man, what the fuck are you talking about? Because this dude's body, if you look at his body, look like a old man body, right? But look, not for nothing. Most boxers don't really care about lifting weights. It contradicts boxing. Right. You know, it makes you slower, sluggier. You know, and now today you'll see more like functional training, and you see better fit boxers, you know, than before. But this dude is one of those little boxers that doesn't lift weights. So look, because you have no discipline or no want to change your body, doesn't mean that I'm over here taking shit to change mine. No, I'm busting my ass to change my motherfucking body, man. I had to work years and years to see what a bicep from a tricep was, to be able to have quads and you know and whatnot. Facts. You know, like, I had to work years to change my body, man. So every time I finish, and I've been doing this since my whole MMA career. Every time I finish a fight, the first thing I do is go back to weights. Oh wow! If I fought Friday or Saturday, on Monday I'm in the gym lifting weights.
Wow!
I'm lifting weights already. If my hands are not hurt, I'm lifting weights. Shit. You know what I mean? And I'm lifting weights because I want to get my body back up. What I do in every camp is I get big, and people would always talk this shit to me in the class, right? And like in my old gyms in the MMA, and like, what do you do? Because everybody's always suffering to cut down. Right. But I was never a big 155-pound fighter. Okay. You know, I wouldn't pass 175. Right. You know what I'm saying? I got people, I know 155-pounders that come from 200, man. 180s, 190s, that's, you know. Insane. Your normal 155-pounder is over 185 for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Easily, you know. So I wouldn't pass 175, so I would bust my ass to get bigger and then come down with quality. Right. That's not happening for this fight. You know what I mean? Right. But I don't need it.
You don't need it.
I don't need it. I'm going to destroy this idiot.
Oh, man. We cannot wait to see it. We cannot wait to see it. Oh, my God. Thank you for that beautiful announcement. You know, obviously it was announced that Bare Knuckle, you know, please give them a follow. They announced it first, but we out here, we shoot 2 weeks beforehand. You know what I'm saying? Got to get that editing done. Second question of the mail time segment. And I believe someone is out here looking for a shameless plug, and we'll give it to them. You know what I'm saying? We'll give it to them. Ask Luis who has the best Frenchies and Bulldogs.
Miami-made Bulldogs, man.
There you go. You know what I'm saying?
That's the man right there.
There you go.
George got that game on lock. As a matter of fact, he just flew himself to Chicago to my brother, old training partner of mine, Ricardo Lama's home.
Big shout out. To
deliver a beautiful Merle pup, man. Beautiful. That's the man. My MMA Bulldogs for sure.
Big shout out.
And to go back to the other clowns that we didn't finish with.
Right.
Why I don't answer? Why am I blocking? Well, let's say like this, man. I'm a very busy man. I don't got time for your bullshit.
That's facts.
Look, fans, like I'll tell you this again. If you're a that fan and you've been blocked, it's because you said something stupid. If you come and you write in my page with some respect and some common sense, some sort of intellectuality, man, some sort of like, you got something to say for real.
Bring something to the table. Don't just talk stupid shit.
I'm going to go back and forth with you if I have the time. I'll do that. I like doing that with fans. You don't have to be my fan. I'll probably earn you as one of my fans because I'll communicate with you.
Right.
You know what I mean? I have no problem with that. But if you're going to come over here and you're going to try and talk to me through your phone or your computer, like you would never talk to me in front of my face, why would I even... Bro, you're going to insult me and talk shit? Oh, and talk about fear? How...
The man does fucking bare knuckle. What you mean fear, bro?
Let's go to this fear of that. Let's stop this for a second. The fear of taking a fight against that Nunez. How the fuck am I scared to take a fight against a 135-pounder when I just finished challenging Thiago Alves at 175 pounds? It's not even my weight class. Like, how does that make sense to anybody?
It does.
I was willing to do it. I was gaining weight, trying to get to 175 to fight Thiago Alves, man. A monster, a legend.
Of course.
And it didn't happen. Yuli got the fight.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Big shout out prior guest as well, you know what I'm saying? Big shout out.
That's my boy, And I'm still aiming for the 165-pound title. I fought at 170 in MMA. Huge dudes, man. And I'm going to be scared of this little midget? Come on, man.
You fought people that were coming down from 200, bro. Come on.
Look, man. In a day where common sense ain't common,
Facts.
I'm sorry. If you say something stupid, I block you.
Right.
Now go and talk to your other 43 followers.
For sure.
You go ahead and talk shit to your other 55 followers, and do your thing and act as tough as you want to be.
Right.
But if you're not gonna show me some respect and talk to me with some common sense, like with some sort of, intellect, man, then fuck off.
Right.
You get blocked, and then who you talking to now?
Your hand, bro. You know what I'm saying? And last question from the mail time segment. You know what I'm saying? This one is totally random. And it goes, what is your favorite pie? I know, bro. The people, dog, hit us with these hard-hitting questions, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus Christ.
Bro.
My favorite pie. That's a good. That's a very interesting question, man.
Yeah, man.
To be very honest to your question, I don't like pies, man.
Oh, shit.
I'm not a pie lover, bro.
Well, okay, so favorite dessert then?
Favorite dessert. The one that I've been my go-to, like in the morning thing, is the, what's it called? Panther Coffee.
Okay, yeah.
They have this almond croissant. It's not from them though. I think it's from True Love.
Okay.
Man.
Fire. Ooh. Okay.
Like when I do a little cheat.
Yeah.
Man, I love that thing.
Damn.
Dessert like an evening, whatever, flan. I love flan.
Oh man, little flan, can't go wrong with some flan, bro. Oh man, that's beautiful. Brother, talk to us about your style of fight. And before we do continue, thank you for those questions. Thank you for submitting them. Please tune in every weekend, send in those questions. For someone who has never ever watched one of your fights, how would you describe your fighting style to them?
Destructive, aggressive, and I'm always looking to make a show, man. Like I don't want to just come over there and just be another fight. I want to be the fight. I want to be the fight that you left home remembering and talking about. And I like to do it now. Even though I've always been very destructive, like always look for that knockout hit, I like to bring more quality into it. So it's like when people talk about the pound for pound in BKFC or in the bare knuckle game worldwide, I put myself up there.
Hell yeah!
I don't want to say I'm number one because it's ugly when you say it yourself. But I've heard many people say it to me, and I'll take that, because I think I am the future of bare knuckle, man. And I think that's because of what I come from. I boxed in the beginning. Then I was a street fighter for many years.
Yes.
You know, then I did my MMA. And then I went into bare knuckle with Eric Castaños, El Tigre, and Dino Spencer from the world's famous Fish Street Gym. And the workout spot, my condition trainer, Amner Pereira. And what I did, so I was telling you earlier, before I also wanted a family, wanted a team.
Yeah.
And what I did is, like, I don't want to commit the same. Look, I'm a student of life. I love learning. It's one of the reasons why people ask me, open a gym. I don't want to open a gym. I don't want to be a trainer. I want to keep learning. I want to, you know, maybe I will have a gym in the future, but it's not going to be me in there all the time. I don't want to hate this thing. I want to keep loving it, you know. I love learning, you know, and I learn from my mistakes, man. I watered myself down in the past, you know. So what I did was create my own team. Fish Street Gym is my team, of course.
Right.
But that trainer, you know, has my own time. Dino. Eric Castaños has Young Tigers Foundation, but we have our own time. And Amner Pereira has all his clients, but he gives me all the time. So I kind of like built a team around me for the bare knuckle ride, you know, because I plan on leaving this bare knuckle game undefeated with both 155 and 165 pound titles. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my plan. And I believe that I can do it because I actually had the amateur experience that didn't have it. Let's call MMA and the street fights the amateur experience.
Right.
When I went into MMA, I went straight blind, man. I didn't know nothing. I didn't know about weight cutting. I didn't know about, you know, training partner. We already spoke about that, right?
You just had a love for the fucking fight.
Yeah,
bro.
it's only the fight. But, you know, when it comes to bare knuckle, I believe I'm the future for the fact that I have the hybrid mentality that you need in this game. Like, have you seen boxers doing well in bare knuckle? No. They're not doing very well. You see MMA fighters doing a little better, maybe because of the size difference in the gloves and whatnot, right? And what they've gone, like, fights with MMA are a little more crazy. Look, you got boxers that get funny with MMA fighters stepping into the ring and whatnot, and then they completely forget that the MMA fighter stepping into your ring, motherfucker. Like, will you step in the octagon?
I haven't seen it, bro.
If you're, you know what I'm saying?
You know
It
what I'm
has
saying?
not happened.
It has
What
not
was it?
happened.
James Toney, was it? That
Right,
got
yeah.
It was something Toney that got taken out by Randy Couture in what, seconds?
Right.
Like, they won't do it. But they want to talk all this shit, you know, and that's not against, you know, I love boxing. Boxing was my first love. I'm not talking shit about boxing or boxers. Just respect the fact that the MMA fighter is actually stepping into your world to face you in a day where you wouldn't do the same. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So going back to bare knuckle is you can't be a pure boxer and make it in bare knuckle. And MMA fighters, you can't be just an MMA fighter and make it in bare knuckle. You know, there has to be some sort of connection between an animality from the street game, you know, to boxing and like fixing everything and putting it together. So what I did was, I'm an animal out of the street, man. Like, people know me for aggressive fights. People know me for wanting to knock people's lights out. People know me for my aggression. But I've gotten it under control where, like, you know, when I met Tigre was 5 years ago when I started training with him. And Tigre tells me, I respect your heart and I respect, you know, that you give it all and you know, but you leave too much to chance. And that was the plain truth. Nobody told me that before that, right? It was too much chance. Like, I would literally step up in the middle and trade with you. And my mentality was, let's see who falls first.
Right.
That was my mentality. That's how I went into every fight. I said, I know if I connect first, I got him. I didn't care what they were throwing. I didn't care who they were, where they were coming from. I didn't care, man. I'm gonna go to war with you. Let's see who knocks who out. That's how I used to fight. And Tigre tells me, but you're older now. You know, I was like 30-something, 38, 37. So you're older now. You know, you can't leave things to chance anymore. You know, you got to use your head now. You know, your footwork. You have a good head movement, you know, but you don't have, like, I didn't have, like, I would move around good. I had good footwork. Don't get me wrong. In MMA, I had good footwork. But I didn't have, like the idea of moving, like, planning something. You know, like aiming at something. I would just move.
Right.
You know what I mean? I would just move good, go with the flow, you know? So Tigre started, like, fixing my footwork like a boxer, man.
Right.
He's trained a lot of pro boxers from very young. You know, he's done El Tortico, the Doctor del Keo, right?
Yeah.
Tortico, he made Tortico since zero.
God.
Tortico was, you know, 20-something and one, you know, as a professional, you know?
Right.
He's made a lot of boxers, you know? And he helped me adapt to the game and bringing together my animality with the boxing love that I had since I was young.
Right.
And I finally put it. That's why I say that I'm the future, because I am the future of BKFC, of bare knuckle boxing, because I can do both. I'm a hybrid of both. I am an animal. If you try and test me and you want to trade, we can trade.
Oh yeah.
You know, but I can also outbox you. And look at my last fight.
Oh yeah.
My last fight I fought El Tornado. He became my boy after that.
Okay.
You know, I didn't like this guy for shit. He was talking so much, you know, he disrespected me in my ring. But, you know, like I said in the post, like you never know a man until you fight a man, you know? And this man, the reason why I gave him the respect that I gave him is because this man was quarantined in Dominican Republic for like 15 years by his goddamn self. Like, he didn't have no trainers, man. He came all the way from UK with no trainers, right? Undefeated in bare knuckle boxing, a champion in bare knuckle boxing in UK, all right? And he was a pro boxer before that. And he came to challenge the champion alone, man. You know, he just got some people to corner him.
No, it takes balls, man.
You know what I mean? Come on, man.
It takes balls.
You know, you don't have your real...
Right.
Like me without Tigres, like Dino is like, those are my eyes. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he came and I beat him in every single round, man. I landed like 173 punches, bare knuckle to the face, man. You know? And this dude is all lumped up, hitting his chest, walking forward like, what else you got? You know what I mean? Like, wow. Like, whoa, man.
Respect,
what did I
man.
do is like my, you know, I'm not going to say what round, but, you know, your hands start to go out, man.
Right, of course.
This is bare knuckle. Your hands puff up like pillows, you know? And one of my hands went out, then the other hand went out. And at this moment, I have to adapt to the situation and use my footwork, man. Footwork, head movement, pop, pop. You know, pick and choose, pick and choose my shot. And I picked them apart. I won every single round of that fight. You know what I mean? And that's because of my boxing ability. And if you hear the commentating, and big ups for, what's his name? Chris Lido, man. I was a fan since the past. And he was saying some dope commentating, man.
Right.
I was listening to the fight and he was like, it's not that Tornado is not doing a good job, it's that Baboon's doing a masterful job. That was dope.
Hell yeah.
Hit me in the heart.
That's a bar, baby.
Thank you, because he actually showed me a love for the skill that I have developed, for what I've been working for. And
the craft that you put in day in and day out, brother.
The craft, man, is like, I believe I am the future of bare knuckle boxing, man.
You are. Ladies and gentlemen, every single week, you know what I'm talking about? We have 3 segments, you know what I'm saying? And the second one is actually the movie review of the week. You know what I'm talking about? And in this beautiful segment, we ask our illustrious guest for a suggestion, a recommendation. You know what I'm talking about? Any sort of media. I'm talking about a movie, a TV show. We've had video game suggestion. We've had albums. Sarah J suggested a damn adult film, you know what I'm saying? Any sort of media that, let's say you're in your fight camp and maybe there's a TV show that you like watching at night because it helps you wind down and relax. Or maybe you recently watched a movie and you're like, bruh, I gotta recommend this to everybody. Anything, whatever it may be, ideally 5 out of 5 stars. What would you suggest for the people?
Man, that was hard because I'm a movie man.
Hey, for real?
I have too many, man.
Okay.
I probably know about every show, every TV show, because the way that I rest, like, I can't turn my head off.
Okay.
The only way, like, throughout my whole 14 years of fighting MMA, before bare knuckle, I can't turn it off. Like, I'll keep thinking about training something else or my opponent or learning something else. So I can't turn my shit off. So the only way I can do it is by watching TV.
Okay.
It's the only way that I can log off my own mind.
Wow.
Like, if not, I can't. Like, I really can't, So I watch a shitload of TV shows and movies. So it'll be very hard for me to pick just one. And
okay.
I won't stop talking.
Right.
But I did start one yesterday.
Okay.
So I'll stick to that one with my fiance. Man, Squid Game, bro.
Squid Games. That shit. I'm not gonna spoil anything for you, bro.
Sick. I watched the first one only.
The first episode?
Only the first one.
You're in for a ride, bro.
Man, it got
me. Dog. Man. When you get to the crib, bro, pop in that second episode. I'm telling you, that shit's so good, bro.
Yeah, that shit's sick.
Man. I mean, I know it's early, but out of 5 stars, what would you give it so far?
5, man.
Hell yeah, bro. Easy.
The way that it started.
Oh, man, I'm telling you.
It got me hooked already.
Oh, dude.
Look, it was late. I didn't want to go to sleep late, right? And my fiance and I were like, let's watch the second one. I was trying to watch it. No, you need to. I had to wake up early to train.
Right.
Okay, we'll watch it tomorrow.
Oh, thank you for that suggestion, man. It's so fucking good. Fucking good. Wow. Speaking of MMA going into bare knuckle. What are your 2 cents on Paige Van Zandt's journey in bare knuckle so far? And why do you think that maybe she's having trouble adjusting? What do you think about her first fights?
I mean, look, man, I think that if she would have stuck to the game, that she would have improved at some point. I believe she would have adapted at some point, because if you see her fight, right, it wasn't going her way at first,
right,
and then she started to pick up momentum.
She did.
You know, so I think it's just a thing of adapting, you know, and fixing a little, you know, just quirks here and there. You know, it's a new sport, man.
It is.
You know, and she had the balls to get in there, do her thing, you know, and, you know, fighters, I heard the whole thing with depression and how she was going through all that. And if she was to hear this, you know, I could say, stick to it, man.
Hell yeah.
Stick to it. Give yourself a chance, you know.
Right.
Like, but it's tough because she was already coming from certain losses in UFC, right?
Right.
So it's like, the thing is like, what you can't pay attention to, and look, she has a huge following, man. Like what, 4.2 million followers, I think.
Yeah.
You know, and at some point, man, you're gonna look at the comments, man. You know, you're gonna look at the comments, you're gonna read all that negative shit, all the trolls. You can't do that, man. You know, you can't do that. If you don't have the mind, you know, to ignore that, you can't do it. Just have somebody else handle your social media.
Does it take a toll on you?
Oh, no, not anymore. Not anymore, at least.
Oh, but it used to?
It's not that it would take a toll. I would just snap. You know, like, who the fuck are you? You know, like you wouldn't say that shit to my face.
Some motherfucker drinking a beer, dog.
Look, I'm a fighter at heart, man. You know what I mean? I'm a fighter.
Right.
You know, like, it's like I managed myself most of my career. You know, and when I came into bare knuckle, I was kind of managing myself in the beginning too. You know, and I almost got into a scuffle. No, not physical, but I'm in the back and forth with Dave Feldman because I'm a fighter, man. You know, if I don't get my way, I'm gonna fight for it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I shouldn't do that. So what I did, I hired a proper representation. Christopher Navarro, which is the son of Ralph
There we
Navarro.
go. There we go.
And I've actually, I don't want to announce the name yet because we haven't, but we actually opened our own management company together.
Okay, all right.
So,
congratulations, brother. All right, all right.
So I'm also going to be signing people. As a matter of fact, we're in talks with Tornado. I'm signing Tornado.
Oh, okay.
So
very
by
cool.
the time this comes out, you know, yeah, we're signing. This is one of my first signings.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, he's marketable. He's awesome, man. He's a warrior. And he just needs a little push. You know
right,
you know,
right.
A little TLC. But, yeah, man, we have those things going. But going back to Paige Van Zandt, man, I say, you know, you can't give up so fast, man. You know, how many fights did she do? 2?
2.
All right. This is a young sport, man.
Right.
You're getting paid good.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, maybe you take a little pay cut, but don't quit. Don't quit, man. But now I heard something about her going back to Bellator or something.
I don't
You know, so UFC, she did it for how long? How many years? MMA. Right? In bare knuckle, she didn't look that bad in the last fight, man.
No, she didn't.
She didn't look that bad. You know, like, I would suggest go again.
Right.
Give it another go. You know, third
time's the charm. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's what I would say for her, man. You know, yeah, but you know, you can't let this energy, you know, this internet trolls get to you.
Yeah. What would you say was the biggest adjustment that you had to get used?
I have to stop you in the middle of your question, but this one filled up.
Oh, you're good. You're good. What would you say was the biggest adjustment that you had to go through when first doing bare knuckle?
The first adjustment and the only worry I had in my head was conditioning my fist, because you know I'm a heavy hitter, and with the 4-ounce gloves, you know, I had several fractures in my hands. You know what I mean? So that was the only fear that I had in my head, like breaking my hand in the fight, you know, fracturing my hand in the fight, and not being able to use that weapon.
Oh shit!
You know what I mean? When you only got 2 weapons.
Right.
Like, in MMA, I can throw knees, kicks. You
right.
know? But yeah, man, that was my only worry. And excuse me, Tigre, Eric Castaños.
Right.
You know, he's Cuban, and in Cuba, you know, you have the karate backgrounds, the judo, you know, shit, even wrestling, all that. But there's a thing called makiwara.
Okay.
All right, and this is Japanese.
Oh shit.
Right, so my fiance actually did makiwara herself. Like, she did karate. Like, if she kicks you in the head, like anybody here, she kicks you in the head, you going to sleep. If you don't go to sleep, you're at least gonna hit the floor with one knee.
And what's it called again?
No, I'm just saying her kicking ability.
No, I'm saying
from karate. So in karate, right, in Okinawa, Japan, in the beginning, Karate Kid.
Right, yeah.
Right, Karate Kid, they have the makiwara. Makiwara is a board, right?
And I thought you were saying marijuana, bro.
No,
and I was like, damn. I practiced that craft myself.
Ralph always says, you train the marijuana. I can't do that one. But makiwara is like a standing board, right?
Okay.
And some people do it like against the wall. I don't like it, because there's no bounce.
Okay.
It's not realistic. It's like a board standing up, and it has this thing that holds it down. And the board is covered by a real thin layer of leather. And the karate people, they hit it to condition the knuckles. So it's like you create like little small hairline fractures as you go, and like for this, when I first started hitting it, my knuckles would bleed because they would tear the skin. And the skin got tough enough that it doesn't open no more. I don't bleed anymore.
Oh shit!
So if I show you a video, it's real deal shit.
Oh, it's hardcore. It's intense.
So it's Theater was the one that brought it up to me, Erica Steins, and I started doing it. Like I bought one. Put it in the gym and started doing it, working it, and that was my first thing that I would say when I came into bare knuckle. Because everything else was I'm home,
right?
I'm home, This is me, you know what I mean? Like now you can't take. Like I've literally had wrestlers take me down, nearly whisper in my ear, "Please don't hit me no more." Like they wouldn't even hit me. They would take me down and just hold me. Cage control, he won.
Wow.
I have many losses like that. Cage control, he won. He controlled you for too long. They wouldn't even pound on me because if you pound on me, you give me a space to.
You give me exactly.
So I wouldn't even get
hurt.
Or
to hit back, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't even get hurt. Because they wouldn't do shit. They would just hold me.
Right.
I have very good jiu-jitsu on the bottom too. I wouldn't get hurt, but they wouldn't strike me to hold me down.
Right.
So now, like I'm in my element, man. Now you can hold me down. You know what I mean? And I was very good at kicking, but there's no kicking. Boxing was my first love, man. And all the street fighting, this is my shit.
Hell yeah.
So the only adaptation I had to do was, getting this fist ready. And I do something religiously every single day I train, and I'm not going to give too much of the secrets of that.
Hey, don't give that secret sauce, you know what I'm saying? Ladies and gentlemen, every single week we have three segments, and the last one is actually the quest for the truth. You know what to talk about. And in this segment, we ask our guest a random, emphasis on the word random, question from this here deck of cards. And we don't know beforehand what it may be or what it won't be. And here we go. You know what I'm saying? Actually, this first one's layered. It's a good one. And it applies perfectly to the topic at discussion. Luis, what makes you feel guilty?
What makes you feel? That's a good one.
It's a good one.
What makes you feel guilty? In general, you mean, right?
Sure, or you can tie it back into the fighting world if you want.
Guilty. I say I normally overtrain.
Overtrain?
I overtrain. I've been known for overtraining. But that's because sometimes I just feel like I didn't do enough.
Yep, I feel you.
So if there's a guilty feeling anywhere, it's when it feels like I don't know, man, I just didn't get enough. I didn't get enough of a certain training,
Right.
And it gives me that guilt feeling. Other than that, man, at home is when my fiance is freaking cleaning the house, and like she works, I work,
Right.
and we're like a team.
Right.
She starts cleaning, we clean together, we get it done quick.
Hell yeah.
But that's another thing that I feel guilty. Like when she does, she's like, no, you need to rest. You train tomorrow. That shit makes me feel guilty as shit.
Damn, that's support.
Yeah, man. It's like, it's like a guilty feeling.
Right.
Like she's doing everything, man.
Right.
And she cooks everything. She does everything, bro.
Wow.
Everything,
Wow.
It's like ridiculous. It's like,
that's a phenomenal support system, brother.
get yourself an import, man. I'm telling you. Pure breed.
Thank you for answering that question of the day. Baboon, before we start wrapping up this phenomenal episode that we have had, a colossal episode, you know what I'm saying? There is something I definitely want to get into, which we haven't really gotten a chance to get into. There recently was a death in the bare knuckle community. Some are saying, as a result of the last fight that, that this man pertained to or that was a part of. Talk to us a little bit about that. And, what are your 2 cents, being in the organization?
Man, I think it's, rest in peace to the man, and my condolences to the family to begin with. Of course. But it's a very tough subject. It's very. Nobody would want to see that. Like, I wouldn't want to be in the other end of that.
Of course.
In any of the ends of that. No. Like, I wouldn't want to be caught up in none of that. And it's really unfortunate, man. I think moving forward, what we can do is at least, be a little more careful with the screening, man.
Right.
Like, I did hear, I don't know the details, but I did hear something about a spinal issue.
Right, and an infection.
A part of the reason why he was paralyzed at first and then he passed. And if I can say anything, man, I would go to the records, to the records, and that's not to point no fingers at anybody, whether it's BKFC or the boxing commission. We just got to be a little more careful with who we allow to fight, man.
Right.
Like I heard his record was about 6 wins with like 18 losses.
Good Lord.
At some point, I guess somebody got to say, hey, look, man, maybe you shouldn't be doing, maybe the same for you.
Right.
The other day I saw an old fight of mine, opponent of mine, Charles Bennett, Crazy Horse. Crazy Horse, the record is 30 wins with like 45 losses, man. He's lost 18 fights in a row. Like, what are we waiting for to tell him to stop? You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think it's just being a little more careful with who we allow him to fight.
Right. Someone's got to give him the Joe Rogan, Brendan Schaub speech. You know what I'm saying? And but yeah, thank you for chiming in on that. It's a horrible loss. In the fighting community as a whole, man, and it's shocking overall. Ladies and gentlemen, what an amazing episode we have had today with Baboon, 2-time 155 champ in the building. Brother, thank you so much for dropping on by, man. The door's always open for you here at Midnight in Miami. The last question that I have before we wrap up, I do want to ask, Baboon, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
5 years, man. Business. I have a few business ideas, actual projects that I'm working on, and I really want to get into that. Like, I came to peace maybe about a year, 2 years before I retired from MMA, that fighting wasn't going to be the place where I make my money.
Okay.
But I am destined to be well off.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I have the work ethic and the belief in that. So, businessman. Business, like, general. Like, I see myself making a shitload of money. I think I deserve it. And it's going to be in that route, but I'm definitely going to be business baboon.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes, and I did lie. I have one last question for you. And this is kind of like on a personal, I guess. What drove you? What gave you the motivation? What pushed you during those darkest days when you were in the hospital, when you were, sweating to sleep 3 times, 4 times a night, waking up and freezing cold and hallucinating through your fevers? Man, to go from there to announcing to talk about the next fight that you're gonna have and to put all the haters to rest and the fucking, man, the blinders that you have to fucking have to put all those fucking haters to rest. Bro, what got you through those nights, those darkest nights?
Man, it was 2 things, man. It was, first of all, my family and fans. It was just such beautiful comments, man. And messages. Like, I couldn't even. I still haven't even finished the message. Forget the messages. Like, I can't even get.
Oh, man.
But the comments, man. I read all the comments, man. If you're a fan and you see me like your comment, it's because I actually read it.
Yeah.
I don't have the time to answer everybody. It's just
of course,
many,
man.
It's too many. But I liked it because I read it and I really liked it. And all that. And my grandma, man, the appearance of my grandma.
Wow.
That she actually, made me feel like everything was going to be okay.
That's powerful, man. That's powerful. Yeah. Brother, thank you again for joining us.
One more thing.
No.
Big thanks to Ralph Navarro, Dr. Ramos, and Jen Terra. Because if it wasn't for Jen Terra and Dr. Ramos, I wouldn't be here talking about a fight.
Wow.
There was no way in hell in my head that I was going to fight this year. You know what I mean? The only reason why I'm here is we're talking about the man, Ralph. Man, Ralph, like, I seen the bill, bro. You know what I mean? Like they would bring me the bill. You know what I'm saying? They brought me the bill.
Yeah.
You know, thinking it was me. You know, and I'm like, no, it's sponsor's bill. You know, but I seen it and I was like, whoa. You know, that he helped me recover at a cellular level, man. You know, I'm talking about like stem cell regeneration, like
Sheesh.
talking about like state of the art type shit, man.
Right.
Like, things that you don't hear about unless you have the type of money, man.
Yep.
Things that I couldn't have afforded, you know. And I'm here today because of that medicine, man. And guess what, man? It's all legal. All legal shit. This doctor's completely against, PEDs, and that's what fucks your body up. And I'm against that shit too.
Of course.
You know, before the whole that fans start with the bullshit talk, right? But yeah, man, stem cells and man, the future, man.
Man,
good
that's
shit.
what I'm talking about.
That's why I'm here now. That's why I'm gonna fight.
Brother, I am so glad to see you recovered. I'm so glad to see you back at it, back in action. You know what I'm saying? Very happy to see. Cruz, what you got for the people before we wrap up?
Nah, I'm also glad he's okay. I'm glad he made it. I'm glad he pulled through, Luis. I think the world would have lost a beautiful soul, bro. I'm really glad you made it, bro.
Thank you, man.
There we go. Baboon, are there any shout outs in order before we wrap up?
Yeah, and I'm probably gonna forget some. I get hit in the head for a living. That's my excuse. But just in case, FYI, we mentioned Gyro Therapeutics. I got in surgery. They fixed me, man. Gyro Therapeutics fixed me for every fight. All body, man. All body.
All body.
Gyro Therapeutics, Banners Lab Bento, 1-800-INJURED. This is my team.
Hell yeah.
Miami Bulldogs.
Hey.
Fusion CBD.
There we go.
CBD, man.
Man.
They got the right products.
Oh, yeah.
Carbon Fiber Music, Faruko, man. That's Faruko's manager.
Yes.
Frank Miami. These are the people that support me, man. Every
of
time,
course.
But now Marine. And, many more. Of course, you can hit me later. I won't hit back. Thank you guys, because if it wasn't for this type of sponsors, man, people like us, most fighters are broke, man.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to do a camp completely focused on that camp,
bro,
because you got all these bills to pay and whatnot,
Bro, just the grocery bill alone, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Especially, when you eat,
bro.
You were living in a world you eat healthy, it costs more.
100%.
You know what I mean? So it's like they're making you go and eat the crap, so then you can go and see the doctor.
Exactly.
So then the doctor can patch you up. That's why Gentera Anti-Aging Clinic, where functional medicine, where we don't do a patch and saying, we actually tell you through your blood what's wrong with you and how we can fix it.
Oh, yeah.
Naturally.
There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, every Thursday at midnight, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? You go on Apple Podcasts, you go on Deezer, you go on iHeartRadio, all that good stuff. But more than anything, you go on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? That's why we got 72 cameras in here. One of them probably died, but it's all good. You know what I'm saying? That's why we get all these cameras in here. Check out the YouTube. You see all our faces. You see all those graphics. You see the man's Instagram on the screen. You know what I'm saying? Follow the man and follow his journey to that, you know what I'm saying, four-time if I'm not mistaken, because you're two-time right now, but I know you're trying to get that double belt, and that's beautiful. Follow him on his journey to retain the top position, man. Absolutely beautiful. Baboon, brother, thank you again for dropping on by. Man. Absolute honor. It was a blast. Every Thursday at midnight, you know what it is. Holla.
You can say how you feel on midnight in Miami, where you can push it to the